So, greetings everyone. So, for today's video, I will be discussing our HTML file as well as our CSS, wherein we have the project of allowing a user to enter a number in a text field in which we are limited to using only 12 digits using HTML input, and we will generate the following HTML tags, wherein it is about count all digits, even digits, add digits, the most occurring digits, and then finding a digit. So, for our HTML file, what we have in our style first is the import of a URL, wherein we use the font style of Canit, and then for the body, and then we use text align center, and for the button we also use the same font family as well as for the input. So let's move on to the body. So what we have here is a title in which it is in a heading 1, find number and count digits. So this user number input, wherein we have the label for the text input, enter a number, wherein this is the text field where the user would input a number. So it includes the input type text, in which it is a text field and contains the ID text input and a placeholder, enter a number. And then after that, we have a break. We have to put 2 breaks in it. So next is we have a couple of buttons. So first button is that digital total count, in which it is a method, and also a method for finding a digit, for counting even or odd, and also for finding the most occurring number, and lastly for clearing the data. And so we have a button on click for all of this, so that when the user click the button, the method will occur. So what we have here are the tags for the next one, and the last part of our HTML, in which it will display the output of every function that we have. So PID is equals to digit count output, and then another P tag for the count num, as well as for counting even and odd. Lastly for the most occurring.
So greetings, my name is FAJARDO, and now I'm going to explain the validate input function. So for this function, it checks whether the user entered value from txt input is a valid number up to 12 digits. So first, it retrieves the input, then it verifies if it is empty, if it is longer than 12 digits, if it is not a number, or if it is exactly 0. If any of these conditions are met, an alert prompts the user to enter a valid number. And the global variable is a number is set to false. Otherwise, is a number is set to true, indicating valid input.
Greetings everyone, and for the digit total count function, it calculates the number of digits in a user entered number. It first calls validate input to ensure the input is valid. If confirmed as numeric, it retrieves the input value from text input. It converts it to a number and initializes a count variable to 0. Using a while loop, it repeatedly divides num by 10, incrementing count until num becomes 0. This process effectively counts the number of digits. Finally, the function updates the digit count output to display the total digit count.
Thank you for that. My name is MEJIA, and I will discussing the function find digit. Of course, here we define the function name find digit, and it will only trigger when the user click the find digit button. After that, we validate input. We call a validate input function to check if the user entered a valid number before proceeding. And we use if else statement for the condition. This will ensure the function continue if the user input a valid number, and if not, if is it empty or too long or not a number, the function will stop here. Here, this part we call variable let num equals number txt input that value to convert the input, which is a text string, into a number. And this part, this line of code will display the pop-up box, which is prompt, where the user can only enter a single digit. And here, this line of code will check if the user entered exact only 1 digit and not a letter of multiple character. If the input is invalid, if the user input is invalid, it will show an error message which is please enter only 1 valid digit. This will display the error message that asks the user to input a single valid digit only. And the function will stop running at this point when the user input invalid number or digit. After that, here we initialize the important variables. Of course, we call let found for, and this part will turn the true if the digit is found. This is a boolean, and this let output text, this is a string that will store position of the found digit. Index, of course, to track the current digit position during the search. Let numLength for store the total number of the digit in the entered number, and let temp num, this is a temporary copy of num, so we don't change the original output.
Well, greetings, I'm Angela and GUARTE, and for this while loop, the condition is temp is greater than 0. Therefore, this loop will run as long as it is not, the temp is not less than or equal to 0. So this line of code, let digit temp modulus 10. So this modulus returns the last digit of a number, because this modulus returns the decimal or the remainder of a number, in this case the temp, when it is divided by 10. So if statement, if digit is equals to number to find, then the found boolean will be true, and the position of the number where the number was found or the index of the number that was found will be printed. So temp parse int temp is divided by 10. So this line of code extracts or deletes the last number of the temp. Since it has a remainder, it will then be parsed int. So index plus plus. After that, if found is true, document that get element by ID found num that inner HTML equals output text. So else it will not print that it is found. It will print num not found.
Now, greetings everyone. I am Rosales or BRILLANTE, and I am here to discuss the function count even odd digits. So this line defines a function named count even odd digits. So the function count how many even and odd digits are present in a given number. So next is input validation. So for the input validation, the validate input function is called to check if the input is a valid number. So the condition if is a number, this one, ensures that the rest of the code only runs if the input is a valid number. Next, for the converting input to a number, which is the let num is equals to number text into that value. So the input value is retrieved and converted into a numeric value. So next, we have initializing counters, which is here. Let even count is equals to 0 and odd count is equals to 0. So even count is initialized to 0 to count even digits, and odd count is initialized also to 0 to count odd digits. So next, we have looping through digits. So this one. The loop runs as long as the number is greater than 0. So the goal is to process the digits one by one, starting from the rightmost digit. Next, we have extracting and checking digits, which is the let digit is equals to num %10. So the modulus operator percent is used to get the last digit of the number. So for example, if num is equals to 1234, then digit 1234 %10 is equals to 4. Next, we have this, which is the if else. So the extracted digit is checked to see if it's even or odd by taking digit %2. If digit %2 is equals to the digit is even and even count is incremented. Otherwise, the digit is odd and odd count is incremented. Next, we have the removing the last digit. So this one right here. So the integer division num divided by 10 removes the last digit. For instance, if num is equals to 1234, then parse int 1234 divided by 10 is equals to 123. This allows the loop to continue processing the next digit. Lastly, we have the displaying the results. This code right here. So the function finds the elements with the IDs count even and count odd and updates their inner HTML with the counts.
Hello, greetings everyone. My name is Leonard and we are SAMANIEGO, and I'll be discussing the first part of the function, find and securing number. So inside the function, validate input is called. So it validates the input of the user, and if it is valid, we will get that input. And then we will initialize to 0 the count 0 to count 9. And then the next part is the while loop. So that digit is equal to input modulus 10. So it extracts the last digit, and then that digit will be passed to the switch statement. And then there will be a comparison and will increment that certain digit. Then last is the input first input divided by 10. So it removes the last digit. So this loop will run until the input will be greater than 0.
Greetings, my name is Candelario, and today I will be continuing the half of the most occurring digit function. So first, we have two variables that we initialize. Max count equals to 0 and most occurring equals negative 1. Max count is set to 0. This will store the highest occurrence count of any digit. Next, the most occurring is set to negative 1. This will keep track of the digit that occurs the most. And right now, it is set to negative 1 because there is no digit that has been evaluated yet. Then next, we have a set of if statements. And in here we compare each digit count to the current max count. And if the count is greater, we update our max count and set the most occurring to that digit. Let me walk through one of the examples. Here we have the count 0 is greater than max count. And max count is equals to count 0. This will update our max count, and the most occurring equals to 0 sets the most occurring to the current digit, which is 0 in this case. Then after the if statements, we have if max count is less than or equals to 1. It means that there's no digit that occurs more than once. And next, here at the else, if a digit repeats more than once, we display the most occurring digit. As you can see here, if no digit repeats more than once, we will have a message that says no digits repeats more than once. And then if we do get more a digit that occurs more than once, we will have a message that says most occurring number is plus our most occurring number. That is.
Greetings, my name is SALCEDO, and I'm going to discuss the clear data. And for the function clear data, this defines a function named clear data that does not take any parameter. Its function's purpose is to reset certain elements in the HTML by clearing their values or content. And then for that TXT input, that value is summed to be a reference to an input field, and this line set its value to an empty string, effectively clearing any user. And then for that document that get element by ID count even that inner HTML, find an HTML element with the ID count even, and clear its content by setting inner HTML to an empty string. And then for that document that get element by ID count or that inner HTML, find an element with ID count or clear its content. And then for that document that get element by ID digit count output that inner HTML, clear the content of the element with the ID digit count output. And then for the document that get element by ID most true that inner HTML, clear the content of the element with the most true. And then the last is the document that get element found none that inner HTML, clears the content of the element with the ID found none.
Okay, so greetings everyone, my name is Rosales, and now we'll be having a little walkthrough of our HTML project, finding number and counting digits. And of course, it is made possible through the use of JavaScript. So let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for now, and then let's all count the digits, which it gives us the output of 9. Then find the digit which will prompt us to type a number. Let's say number 7, which in turn will find the number in the input and gives us the position. And let's say, for example, I'll enter a number that is not in the input. It will say 0 not found. Next is counting the even and odd numbers. So the even digits are 4 and the odd digits are 5. So let's see, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are odd digits. So it's 5 odd digits. Then the even digits are 2, 4, 6, 8, which are even digits, 4 even digits. Then next is the most occurring number. So as you can see, all of them are unique, no duplication whatsoever. So the program actually gives us the output of no digit repeats more than once. But now let's, for example, have a number that have duplication in it. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the most occurring number, which we are expecting to be, is 4. And how about more than 12 digits? It also doesn't consider it as a valid input because it only accepts an input that is up to 12 digits. How about string? What letter? Nope. Still, it is not a valid input as the program only accepts numbers that is up to 12 digits. So that is all. Thank you for listening.